Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing a Watcher of Realms. Wait, no, I'm not Ivy League Gaming anymore. Hey everyone, Susie here, and today Susie plays Watcher of Realms. Is that my new tagline, guys? Alright, yeah, so I don't even know what my tagline is anymore. I've now rebranded things to Susie Plays. Not completely everywhere, I'm still working on it, but yeah, new name. The TLDR of why I want to change it is really just the sake of branding being consistent. Like, I'm known with Fateless as Susie, which is my real nickname, and I also had another YouTube channel that I want to start going again with Yankee in Transylvania as a travel and home type blog. And that I go by Susie, and I feel like it's just a good time to kind of put things all in line as far as the further things get with Fateless and Godforge, the less people are likely to know who the hell Susie compared to Ivy League Gaming even is. It's just more confusing. And I never really wanted to use the name Ivy League Gaming to begin with. I wanted to use my real name, but I didn't want to change the name that I was already known by in the Twitch community before I became a content creator. Okay, that's a really quick TLDR. But yeah, I explained it a little bit better in my official Discord server, so if you want to head on over there, I do have the explanation typed up. It might make more sense. Alright, so let's get into the dev insights for today. I have 2 weeks worth to go over, so this might be a long one. Also, my eye is really puffy and sensitive today. Physiotherapy is going okay, I think, but my eye's been extra, like, I don't know, sensitive, so if I look a little wonky, don't mind me, I'm just still a derpy pirate. Alright, so August 28th, we had a Dev Insights posted, which was yesterday. I meant to post this yesterday as well, but I just was too busy and didn't quite get to it. There's also August 21st that I did not do. So, first I'm going to do the August 21st Dev Insights, and then I'm going to skip to the ones from the then I'm going to go to the ones from the 28th. And if you, oh my god, it's a lot. Oh god. And if you already have read through these on your own, or if you watched another content creator talk about the ones from the 21st, because that was a week ago, I'm going to put a chapter in the description, or it should show on the timeline. You can go straight to the ones from the 28th if you haven't caught those ones yet. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so the first one I'm going to highlight here, question 7, or comment. Ingrid and Praetus are bad for Arena, nerf them hard. Way worse than pre-nerf Boreas. No team comp diversity, plus those two shit damage is dumb as hell. No need to CC, just boom. Screen dead. How is this not nerfed? Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, it is a little bit messy now with Arena. However, which I said in a video, then people said I was wrong. Then I literally went and looked and saw that I was not wrong. Yes, obviously it's the arenas are dominated by Praetus and Ingrid, but in every category, I still was seeing the like Valderon teams. Maybe not anti-air. Was it AoE and single target? I don't even remember now. But I saw Valderon with chaotic heroes as well in the tops of the leaderboards, like literally the first ones, as well as the arbiters. Obviously Praetus and Ingrid at the top as well. So there's still the two things that are made to be the best in Arena are being the best in Arena. I'm not sure why that's a surprise. That's kind of their point. Those heroes are meant to be arena specialists, so personally, I'm not mad if arbiters and chaotic units are the best things for arena, because that's literally what their niche is supposed to be. And that's just the reality of high-end PvP. So yeah, I'm not bothered by that personally. But yeah, all right, so they said, thank you for your feedback. We have noticed that recently teams centered around them have been performing beyond expectations in the anti-air arena environment. We will continue to monitor the performance of these heroes and make some adjustments to the anti-air arena environment in the future to ensure that marksman teams remain competitive. So instead of changing the heroes, they're going to try to change the environment to make sure that what's supposed to be the best, which are marksmen for that one specifically, can be the best again. I'm really curious of how they will accomplish that, though. Okay, this is a couple weeks old, and we did have a 15 times on King Hearts, but I just have to read this out loud because it's funny and someone's just trolling. When are we gonna have a 15 times on King Hearts? I feel it's unfair only Fastidious is allowed to pull him on a regular basis. They actually reply, thank you for the feedback. We're offering a special 15 times bonus in the upcoming card pool. Okay, that's just funny. Santa King Hearts skin for Christmas this year. That's a great idea. But they say here, we're considering it, but due to production timelines, it might not be ready by this Christmas. Nah. It's a great idea. Alright, so we have another arena comment. Make the arena have a rotation of champions weekly, alternating between about 20 epic and legendary, so that players need to choose which composition is best to when using intelligence instead of just power and broken characters such as Praetus, Valderon, and Ingrid. Pay to win will always stand out if the arena stays like this, and I'm already seeing a lot of complaints about poor balancing, so at least everyone will have the same things. Now, that I stand to the point, or I'm on the side of Praetus and Valderon and Ingrid should be the best in arena. That's logical. It's totally logical. That's what they're made for. So that doesn't bother me at all. Now, could there be a different arena mode that is more friendly, that's on normalized PvP? Yes, that would be great. But that's what they say here. So we're not going to introduce a rotation system in arena yet, but we're exploring new types of arena gameplay that might include this feature. So it does sound like they might have a normalized PvP, which I feel like was something they said they were going to have a normalized PvE mode, which they actually did with the tower, but not PvP. But it would be really nice if they had a normalized PvP mode. I would really like to see that for sure, where you are all on the same playing field and you have to like win by skill and getting creative and just, yeah, being able to use characters maybe you don't have, or yeah, just something different. Alright, so this is a little confusing. Implement Nightmare 5 Guild Boss 1. It's quite old content at this point. Upgrading it would be simple enough and give players something new to work toward. They say, thank you for the feedback. We plan to introduce new challenges with the Guild Boss at a Nightmare difficulty level later this year. So, with the Guild Boss at a Nightmare... I think that's clarifying. Yes, they're going to add another Nightmare difficulty, but it's worded a little weird. Alright, so this is an important, or an interesting one, regarding Zealous, and they actually give a very detailed reply, so I thought it was worth reading. Improvements for poorly designed legendary champion Zealous. Anti-heal should be part of his kit, not an exclusive artifact. We have multiple champions with 100% anti-heal who are totally superior. His attack interval is too long at 5 seconds. It should be either 2.6 seconds or it should benefit from attack speed, so we can lower it from the 5 seconds through gear. His cost is too high. With the changes implemented, it would be fair if he was 20 to 22 cost. Alright, I'm gonna skip the rest. Oh, actually, they do talk about another character. Okay, so let's reply to just the Zealous part. So we've upgraded Zealous's artifact to enhance this effect. Now, in addition to reducing the target's healing received, it also increases damage by 15%, strengthening its original function. Zealous has a unique advantage over other area attackers as he can target more enemies, and his basic attack has higher damage multiplier compared to other area attackers. This is why Zealous has a distinctive attack interval and is unaffected by attack speed limits. Okay, I really like that they genuinely justified the reasoning for his kit. It actually is pretty good. I mean, we might not agree with it, but they have their reasons, right? I actually quite like that reply. And then they talk about Absin here. So let's see. Absin, Glory Recalled Passive. This should trigger on an interval. It makes no sense. It only works one time after deployment. Or this could be a different effect entirely, such as 10% to 25% ignore defense. His basic attack should hit multiple targets. He should do piercing and standard damage, so he's effective versus ground units. All right. And then they say here, additionally, Absin's artifact can delay this effect. And we may consider developing specialized gear in the future that would allow this effect to activate periodically. Okay, so the whole passive. And they didn't really comment on his comment about Giselle just being awful. Alright, so next one says to please buff Demi and Elder. Getting lucky and pulling Ancient Lords only for them to not be the right Ancient Lords is miserable. They say we are reviewing the performance of the mentioned Lords and will consider them in our ongoing hero optimizations. I don't know why people hate on Demi so much. Isn't she like the best anti-heal in the game, technically? I think I remember one of the players in my Discord describing using Demi and just saying how incredibly amazing she is, and that just what he's seen, people just aren't using her correctly, so to speak. I don't remember the details. I don't have Demi, so I can't even try to pretend I know the example or remember because that was a long time ago when she first came out, but I think Demi is underrated and she's actually pretty good. And then Elder, I remember wanting him as like one of my most wanteds. I think he's just been power creeped a bit compared to other lords, but I don't know. I guess yeah, that one I really haven't seen used much personally, and I don't have him. Alright, this is a good reply. So please allow Scorch to cause actual burning like his attack implies. Nobody uses him. He literally breathes fire, yet doesn't cause burning. That simple change can make him extremely useful, and it's an easy fix. And they reply saying, we're seriously exploring the feasibility of your suggestion and will conduct detailed tests and discussions. Scorch becoming a burner. I like it. His name is literally Scorch and he doesn't burn. Not even just the description of the skills. It's his name, guys. This person has a really good point. Alright, I'm just gonna get the TLDR from a couple messages right here. There's 2 comments about the struggle to get a legendary hero soulstone, which is, it should be rare, but it's a little too rare sometimes. And they do say we've planned optimizations based on your suggestions. And this person's just talking about maybe adding a 180-day login reward for it, so, or like to where you're guaranteed to get one every 180 days. And then this comment here, they actually say the reply is, we're planning to distribute them in certain gameplay events, so stay engaged. Stay tuned. Alright, regarding exclusive artifacts, someone suggests being able to choose 3 artifacts in the forge and then having a 15 times chance to pull them. So like a wish list, where you can wish list the ones you really want to pull. And then, yeah. And they actually said this is a great direction and will consider developing it in the future. Or in the future. There's a lot of typos here. And just a clarification for stuff that has been mentioned a lot in the past, the feature of dismantling ancient equipment is in the making. Alright, on to the next part from the 28th. Alright, the first one, so I have a lot of ancient items that have stats much lower than regular. Only 1 or 2 stats from 4 are purple, and other are blue. Ancient items are supposed to are supposed to have more powerful secondary stats than regular. I have a lot of regular items that have all purple stats. Why do you design like that? I think they mean that way. To get ancients needed to do 400 plus raids to get them. It's not worth it. Can you research the situation? So for one, you guys should look into the seeding techniques that Slate has talked about with others. Set yourself up with like 100 multi-battles or more, but watch the first 10 to 20 runs. If you don't get some good stuff in the first 10 to 20 runs, close it, go to the camp, then go back into it and see how that batch is. I have certainly seen this method work wonders and end up getting like 3 or 4 ancients in like less than 100 runs easily. And like even legendary, and I got like the new mythic, right? What is it? The captain, the new demon soldier, getting legendary demon soldier frags and getting epic. Those are also in like the special category. So keep an eye out for what you're getting, and then if it doesn't look good, kind of reset it and go back. But yeah, I also, from like the very beginning, I was confused at the point of being able to get blue. Blue should not be able to roll at all on an ancient artifact. I 100% agree with that. It should only be purple and yellow. That's the point. They're supposed to be special, right? I guess the point is that the subsets that are there are good ones, at least. And some of them will be purple, but I think that should be the point. For real, that it should be purple and yellow only, no blue rolls. Definitely thought that should have been the case from the beginning. They do say here, we still want there to be a degree of randomness when everyone obtains ancient gear. Randomness may lead to some differences in substats. We understand the situation and will find ways to resolve this in the future. So I'm definitely agreeing with this question here. If you can make it so that we could select multiple gear and level them to 4, 8, and 12. So when doing gear runs, you don't sit for 2 hours leveling gear to have good gear stats and rolls. So their reply is, after batch enhancement, players might still need to check the substats of each item individually. We will consider adding a feature to view them in bulk to make it more convenient. Yeah, I still think, all right, I've gone through everything. All these here have okay substats. All of these here, I'm going to roll to 8 or 12. So you select them all, just boom, one click, they instantly all go to 12. Then you can just quickly select, oh, nope, that's bad, delete, bad, delete, bad, delete. Okay, this one looks good, roll to 16. Like, it'd be much quicker if you could do that just all in one click or something. Or in a few clicks, you know what I mean? As like a batch, instead of having to go into it and then say, okay, roll to 8 or 12, and then click the cell button, okay, cell, then click the next piece again. I think it's just a lot of extra time wasted if we could just roll everything up to 12 or to whatever we feel like. Alright, there's been a couple talks about removing Mythic Extract, and this also mentions 5-star powers, but from the legendary chests from Drake's Chasm, our guild boss, especially in the highest stages, they do say here Mythic Extract is scheduled to be removed. So we are also considering the status of Psychic Power. So I don't think it's bad if Mythic Extract is like part of the lower rewards, but yeah, should it be a gold tier reward? No, it shouldn't be. I think it's kind of like the issue that happened with the changing rewards when we added fragments and people were getting gold chests and they thought that the fragments, I'd agree, we thought the gold fragment, the fragments were taken away from our chances to get the real thing or to get a soul stone or something better. But really, it was just the way they color-coded certain items. So really, Mythic Extract should just be color-coded to blue or purple as a chest result. And maybe even not let people get it from the high... I don't know, I can't say that. I don't want to get it. I don't mind getting one here and there. I just increase the odds of getting other legendary stuff, decrease the odds of getting the others, right? That's about it. Okay, we have a good comment about transparency here. A good reply, I should say. So good morning, but for Rourke, it's stated that his attack is based on HP, but at the contrary of attack-based heroes, there's no comparative way to understand or guess how many damage he might do. So it says the next adjustment to hero descriptions will consider including the exact ratios in the explanations. I definitely like to hear that. Multipliers are huge to know. So like if a hero does the attack, you know, it's a certain percentage, whatever, you can kind of calculate that, assuming no crit rate involved, based on just the percentage, right? But when it's like, well, would the HP be any different? I guess it depends on the skill descriptions. The skill description would have to be like, deals 200 or 50% HP percentage damage. I don't even know how to word it. I can't remember. Dragoner did it pretty good though. But yeah, I guess that would be helpful. Just to know the exact multipliers with HP, if they don't say it well in the actual skill descriptions to make sense. Because it sounds lower, but then your actual HP is a lot higher than your attack, so you can't be like 200% HP damage, right? Or damage based on your HP or whatever. That would be broken. All right, and with the comments about Praetus, Ingrid, and I guess Ajax as well for anti-air arena, they actually have a really good reply here that goes along with what we've already talked about, what we already read. So they say, we plan to add magic resistance for aerial PvP in future updates. That's logical, especially if it's supposed to be dominated by like Piercer Marksman, and then it's kind of defeating the point of what that one is supposed to be specialized for. Like, I think the AoE should be dominated by mages, or AoE fighters, I guess. Either way could be fine, but the idea of anti-air, it should be the marksman, I think. That kind of makes sense. They're the ones that specialize in air, right? Alright. So, this has been a topic a lot about the actual damage that a defense or HP-based scaling, or HP scaling unit does. So they say, however, you know, like attack is completely dead stat. It makes sense for it to be converted to their primary stat to at least some small extent, because like every other person can benefit from HP defense and attack because you're either adding to your survivability or you're adding to your damage. But someone who does damage based on HP or defense has no benefit from attack. Attack is a dead stat. But this is a good point. I mean, heroes who convert, the reply, heroes who convert HP or defense into attack already have an advantage. They only need to focus on one stat, and they're geared to gain 2 effects, damage and survivability. So there's no need to further enhance their stats. I mean, that's fair. I think the problem is just like defense-based damage dealers just never really could compete with attack-based damage dealers, but I think that's okay. I don't think that's a bad thing either. Like, HP or defense-based damage dealers are not made to be the highest attackers in the game, keyword attack. They are tanky and they can do damage. That's a bonus. They can do 2 jobs at once, so they should not be the best damage dealer if they're also going to have amazing survivability. That would be a little bit unbalanced. So I think how they do it's okay, personally. And then on the topic of HP and defense-based damage dealers, people are saying like they're usually not that usable because yeah, you're gonna sub someone else in for a higher attacker. But this is a good point again to the conversation, saying these heroes will be particularly powerful in environments with high survival pressure, such as Void Rift and Titanic Ruins. We will also introduce new gameplay that challenges survival abilities in future updates. Yeah, I think survivability is key. So on some things, like the highest stages, but in a lot of content, it's just not as hard to survive as long as you have a good healer. So I don't know. I get the argument that you wish that if someone does defense based on, or damage based on defense, that it was actually potential to be a very strong attack, but there's gotta be a balance, and someone can't be incredibly, incredibly tanky and be the best attacker in the game. I definitely think that's fair. Alright, new Dispel hero, guys. So, new guild boss, we need more cleansers. There's only one rare healer that can do it. Or you mean epic. Medan. So, thank you for your interest. A new hero with Dispel abilities will be released soon. That's all they say. If I remember right, Forerunner server or something showed Nisande getting turned into a Dispeller as well, which is great. But a new hero being added that can Dispel is definitely needed. Elowen can't be the only answer, and Eunomia is just not consistent enough for that role. And yeah, I definitely don't even have Dasomi either. I can't remember Dasomi, honestly, exactly if they're consistent enough or not. But again, Eunomia and Dasomi are ancient exclusive heroes, and Elowen is a very hard to pull hero for most people, I would say. And you can't just have content, need such specific things. They definitely need to diversify the champion pool. Alright, so this is definitely an issue if you're actually using all your gear plans. You can have like 50 gear plans, so it can be really hard to see things. So someone says, is there any way to get folders, categories, or anything at all to organize our plans? You're sitting at like 45 plus plans. It's really hard to find what you need or edit them, you know. They do say we will introduce similar features that will make it easier to organize and equip gear. Sounds good. Hopefully that's the case. So I'm really curious about exactly what's going to be included in this one. It's a pretty hot take here, or we've mentioned it lightly, but like to Arena it sounded like, but now it's really sounding like more. I don't know if this is good or bad. Probably good. It's good. Quality of life, for sure. But okay, so every auto run should also save a snapshot of gear and artifacts. A huge portion of this game currently involves spending a ridiculous amount of time rearranging gear, and I doubt anyone enjoys anything about that process. Please expand the upcoming GVG and Arena gear snapshots to include every auto-running game. Okay, Arena and GVG. So I got excited. I thought they were going to say auto-runs in general. But no, they said, this person said GVG and Arena, and they say we're already working on this feature. Yeah, so the GVG thing is already supposed to be a thing if we had our update. Arena is apparently coming, which would be great as well. Should it be on everything in the game? Maybe not. But, because it then it encourages you to keep farming more gear. But at the end of the day, if people mostly just swap gear around anyway, making us not have to swap it around because an auto run remembers what we had last would be amazing for sure. I would, as someone who has very limited time to play, who's the majority of their demographic, you know, I'm mid-30s, I have a baby, and I have family. Even though I'm a full-time freelancer, I guess you could say, sorta, because I'm a self-employed, and then I work part-time for FATELESS as a contract employee. Yeah, even though this is something that dominates my time, I still barely have time to play the game nowhere near as much as I wish I could. And I think that's the majority of people. Like, how many people really have like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours every day to actually play or more? Like, I think the majority of people want to find stuff that they can play on an average 15 minutes to maybe 30 minutes a day, an hour a day maybe of actual like gameplay. And then some days you spend more time grinding and improving. But if you have to change your gear for everything every time, it just kills the mood. Honestly, to be fair, that's a big part of why I don't play as much these days, is the gear swapping, because it's just exhausting to... I just don't feel like it. I'm like, ugh, I need to run that, but that means moving all my gear again. And even with gear plans, it's only so easy. Then because then I know I'm stealing gear from someone that I again had to remember to put back on them, and it's just a headache. So yeah, okay, I'm all for I'm all for the ease of like almost as easy, but maybe not quite as Dragonair for just having a team preset, go in there, click it, boom, you're good to go. Maybe some sort of a balance in between where it's not quite that crazy. I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, that has been the Dev Insights from the 28th and the 21st. There's definitely some good comments in there. Most of it's a hot mess like usual, but at least there's a few good takeaways. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.